He was a soldier who was loyal to his family. He served the family like a dog for years, until he was falsely framed and executed. While on the guillotine, he swore to himself that if he were to get another chance, he would never live like a dog again. Moments later, he woke up to find himself as an infant in the grand mansion of the Baskerville clan. Suddenly the clan head Hugo entered the room, and cursed all the crying infants. He ordered the babies to be moved to the Cradle of Swords. It's a trial to test the newborns of the clan and strengthen them. Vikir recognized the clan head and recalled how Hugo executed him. He decided to gain more strength for his vengeance. And so, in the Cradle of Swords, he managed to be the first one to come out of it. He dived into the river Styx and managed to stay there for 7 minutes. The clan head told Vikir to come out, but he stubbornly stayed submerged until he lost consciousness. Hugo pulled him up and complimented his greed for strength. After successfully absorbing the water from the river Styx, Vikir was moved back to his nursery. Then, a maid entered the room and left a mysterious box on his bed. Suddenly, 2 bloody mambas come out of the box to bite Vikir. But instead, he grabbed the snakes and killed them. The next morning, everyone was horrified to see him sleeping peacefully with the corpses of 2 snakes. The nannies were tortured and executed that same day, but the main culprit was not found. 8 years passed by, and Vikir had begun to learn swordsmanship while hiding his true strength. One day after class he got bullied by his older siblings for only being a half-blood. They threatened him with a knife and told him to hold his breath for 7 minutes, but to their unknown Vikir held his breath back for 10 minutes. One of the triplets got scared and told the third brother to let go of him, but Vikir bit off one of the third brother's fingers. The first brother got angry and tried to stab him. However, due to the effects of the water of the river Styx, Vikir stayed unscratched. He quickly grabbed the first brother's hand and looked at him with crimson eyes as if a rabid dog staring at its prey. He punched the first brother and then quickly kicked the second brother. He then told the third brother that he would let one of them go, but they had to decide who would get to live. Hearing this, the 3 brothers fought amongst themselves, and it caused their bond to break. Later Vikir was called by his father. He asked him about why he caused fighting among the triplets. Vikir replied that he believed that forgiveness is nothing more than the sorry excuse of the weak who couldn't get revenge. Hugo got excited and told Vikir to get any snacks he wanted. In the food warehouse, Vikir chose to take chocolates not for himself to eat, but for the upcoming practical exam. 5 days later, the young hounds gathered at Mount Eli Rouge, a mountain filled with demonic creatures. Their objective was to survive there for a month and subjugate demonic creatures. A few moments later, the exam began and everyone started searching for an advantageous position. But Vikir decided to make a tent and enjoy his vacation. Days passed, but Vikir kept enjoying his vacation as the other kids scored points. The guard assigned to secretly monitor him got bored and left. Seeing the guard leave gave Vikir the freedom to begin his plans. He entered the restricted area and encountered a hellhound. The hound rushed towards him, but Vikir slid under the hound and splashed water on the ground because hellhounds couldn't cross water. The hellhound changed its approach and exposed itself, allowing Vikir to throw chocolate into its mouth. It caused the hound to immediately get badly poisoned. Vikir then stabbed the hound's kidney and killed it, allowing him to absorb energy from the dead hound. Suddenly a pack of hellhounds approached. Vikir prepared to battle them, but the hounds got scared and retreated. He looked back to find a Cerberus behind himself and noticed the injuries on it. He decided to take this chance and hunt the Cerberus. Vikir rushed toward the beast and started slashing it carefully, thinking that he could win. But the Cerberus suddenly countered and landed a strong blow on Vikir, throwing him against a tree. Vikir lost consciousness for a moment, but he managed to wake up just in time to dodge the Cerberus attack. He started running towards his camp with the Cerberus in his pursuit. Vikir jumped over the trap he had prepared beforehand and watched as the Cerberus got caught in it. The traps were laced with chocolates which caused the Cerberus to get poisoned. Due to being a high-ranked monster, the Cerberus wasn't going down easily, so Vikir threw a spear tipped with poison at the Cerberus, which caused it to die soon after. Before leaving the forest, Vikir went to explore the dungeon the Cerberus was protecting. Vikir entered the dungeon. He found a puzzle with a skeleton next to it with a note on it. He learned of the 2 brothers who came to explore the dungeon, but killed each other because they couldn't find the correct answer. Vikir was able to easily find the answer to the puzzle, which caused a hidden room to open up. Inside the room was a sword, the demon sword Beelzebub. Vikir pulled out the sword and it immediately merged with him, granting him ownership of the sword. After obtaining the sword, Vikir thought about returning, but he was suddenly struck with dizziness and hunger. The demonic sword's hunger affected Vikir and guided him to the hellhound he had killed before. It started draining the blood from the dead hound to satisfy its hunger. This method enabled Vikir to obtain the hellhound skills and later the Cerberus's skills. The following day, participants from the exam gathered with their hunt for their evaluation. Vikir's hunt of the Cerberus shocked the Baskervilles. Everyone was surprised to see that an 8-year-old had hunted an A-rank demonic creature. Hugo, the clan head, called for Vikir and congratulated him for coming first in the exam. He would also grant Vikir a wish. Vikir took that opportunity to ask permission to enter the 10,000 book library. Hugo allowed him to enter, but seeing him give permission so easily surprised Vikir. During his visit to the library, Vikir read the 6th Fang Swordsmanship as Hugo suggested, a book only allowed to be read by people in higher positions in the clan. But Vikir's main goal was a 1st Fang book that no one cared about. That book contained the methods to reach the 10th Fang, a stage no one has reached before. In his past life, Hugo waged war against other clans and sacrificed many soldiers to find the missing pages of this book. Vikir used the book and his knowledge from his past life to reach an even higher level than he was able to reach in the past. After reaching 5th Fang, Vikir decided to burn the book so Hugo couldn't get his hands on it. He put it beside the sunny window and made it look like an accident. The following day, Vikir met Hugo to tell him about his progress. The clan head was surprised to see the astonishing level he had reached at such a young age. He told him to show his achievements in front of everyone. Soon after, Vikir was taken to the arena to test his strength in front of Hugo and the other trainees. Vikir's first opponent turned out to be an orc. Hugo signaled the start of the battle, and the orc rushed towards Vikir. But he remained unfazed. He proceeded to cleanly cut the orc's arm, and then its leg. The audience was shocked to see this, but Hugo remained unimpressed. Seeing this, Vikir decided to show his aura blade and instantly killed the orc. But Hugo still tried to remain unsurprised and put on a poker face. Then, Vikir asked Hugo if there was anything stronger than an orc. Hugo told the butler to bring a troll to further test Vikir. The huge troll stood in front of Vikir as the crowd watched in anticipation. The fight began with the troll showing its overwhelming strength, but Vikir dodged all of its attacks and used its own weight against it. At that moment, Hugo told Vikir to stop. But he insisted on fighting the troll to the end. Hugo allowed him to continue. Then Vikir was immersed in his thoughts. He wondered about how much of his true strength should he show. He then released a portion of his true strength. Vikir gathered his aura into the sword and cut off the troll's head with incredible strength and speed. The audience watching was baffled as an 8-year-old boy managed to defeat a troll. Hugo was finally astonished at Vikir's strength. And that is all for now. Find out more about this series in the next recap video. Let us know in the comments the manhwa or manga you want us to recap next.